Okay.
Um, this is Animal Paradise. This is December 29th or 30th, December 30th, 2024. We have 2 days more to the new year. Tomorrow is the last day of this year. Then next tomorrow is the first day of the next year. Allow me to wish you a happy new year 2025. This is Animal Paradise. Now that the new year is coming, every farmer should plan, or everybody in every aspect of life should plan to upgrade. You can or you should not remain the way you were in the old year. In 2024, you had too little flock in your backyard. In 2025, you should not have too little flock in your backyard. You should plan to have a herd of 10,000 goats. So whether you're able to have 10,000 or not, don't have too little flock. Don't have just one male and one female goat. No, increase the numbers. Yes, increase the numbers. Every business is all about, everything you do is all about numbers. The more numbers you have, the better the opportunity, or the more profits that will come in, irrespective of the profit you're looking at. There are different profits. We had a seminar last time. The Red Goat Farm was able to teach us that we have different profits in different area of goat farming. He was talking about profiting in cash by selling, profiting by increasing your numbers, and he also talked about not just selling goat meat. You can sell the skin, and he said goat skin is even more expensive if you know the buyers. And the skin of the goat is more profitable, even much lucrative, or you make more money from it than the meat. And then we have the milk. Some people are doing goat milk, and goat milk is a little bit expensive. So in the new year, plan to increase your animals. We gave an example of somebody slaughtering 5 goats every day. 5 goats every day. 10 days is 50 goats. One month is 150 goats. 2 months is 300 goats. If you have 300 goats, so in 2 months you exhaust it, you have 0 goats. So increase the numbers of the goats you are having, irrespective of what you want to do with them. Increase the numbers. And we also ask a question: why do you do goat farming? A lot of us do goat farming for pleasure, for all those things. I think the Red Goat Farm also told us that he does goat farming for profits. You want to cash out, you want to make the money. And even though you love the animals, but at the end you want to make the money. Even though that is the destination of every goat farmer, you will make the money. You will make the money. And then the money, I ask a question: is goat farming lucrative? Because some persons want to pack out of goat farming. They think that it's not lucrative. Some persons want to pack out. Some persons who want to enter, they are looking from afar. How do I make my profit from goat farming? It's very profitable. It's stresslessly profitable. You make the profit without stress. Yeah, you don't get too much stress in it. The only area you get stress is if you have crazy workers. That's where the people that will bring stress to you. The business itself will not bring stress. The animals will not bring stress. If you dot the I's, you cross the T's, you build your pen well, you get vaccinated goat to stock. I think the Red Goat Farm also told us that you should not buy goat from the market. Somebody asked a question. He said, no, don't buy goat from the market. So goat farm is lucrative, beautiful. In the new year, increase the number of goats you are having. We don't have any farmer we know that have 1,000 goats. 1,000 goats in Nigeria. We don't have. So you can break that record. You can chase 1,000 goats and have 1,000 goats. It's not going to be easy, but chase 1,000 goats and have 1,000 goats. But in the new year, buy more goats. January, February, March is still stocking season. Buy more goats. Buy vaccinated goats. They are a little bit more expensive than non-vaccinated goats, but their life is more secured than the lives of the non-vaccinated goats. When you get 50 pieces of non-vaccinated goats, you may lose 30 or even lose everything. But when you get 50 vaccinated goats, all things being equal, you lose 1 or 2. And then there's this thing I want to say. The success of your goat farming is not just by listening to videos on YouTube alone. You got to really learn how to take care of goats and know what you want to do. Learn how to do it, and the people you hand over the business to, let them also know how to do goat farming. Are you seeing it? Goat farming is not a kind of a business of non-living commodities. If you open a business of commodities where the non-living commodities, you open the shop, you have 20 shoes, 20 bags, 20 this, 20 that, 20 television, 20 plasma, 20 AC. It's okay. It's going to go well. Just put anybody there, tell them this is the price of AC, this is the price of, so reduce your volume for me now. This is the price of AC, this is the price of refrigerator, this is the price of this. They will sell it. The best they can do is to increase the price for the buyer. But when it comes to goat farming, you don't just say I love goats and then you put the goats there and you put somebody who doesn't know how to take care of goats in the place. Some people don't even, some workers don't know why they have to feed the goat 3 times a day. They just feel like, I don't give them food in the morning now, and they don't know that you have to feed them uninterruptedly for 5 months for them to feed them well with quality and quantity feed uninterruptedly for 5 months for them to be able to give birth. They don't know. They just keep the animals there, give them food sometimes, and then they live there. And that's why you see most of those farms are having issues. The owner has money to put into it and start it, but the people managing it here don't know how to manage the farm. And you just have to learn. You learn how to manage the farm. Or some of the successful farms we are having, they told us a secret that they put a Wi-Fi in their farm, and some of them bought browsing phones for their managers and put Wi-Fi for them to be following up the system of goat farming on the internet. So the workers are browsing. Sometimes the boss will give them a task and say, okay, go and research, do this, find out how to get rid of worms, find out how to get rid of this, find out how to do this. If there are fleas and lice, what do we do? The workers there are browsing and searching for knowledge, and they are coming with challenging knowledge. 3 workers are there. One will come up and say, hey, the video I watched, it said that we should do this and do that and do that. The other one say, yes, the video me I watched said we should do this and do that and do that. The other one said, the video I watched said this and this and that. They are challenging themselves. Are you seeing it? So don't just put it there and put people who don't know how to take care of it. And they need special care. We call it management. Put people who know what they are doing, and not boss or bosses. I think there was a woman who opened a goat farm, and then some of the families comes and then they are bossing around. The father will come, he will boss around. The mother will come, he will boss around. The uncles will come, will boss around. It wasn't at the end the farm failed because the people didn't know how to take care of the animals. Are you seeing it? Sometimes even banks, if they employ graduates who know how to work in a bank, they still give them in-house training. Give your workers in-house training. If the goat is pale, the farm attendant or the farm worker should know. If the goat is not there are some goats I have in my backyard there now. Yesterday I gave one particular one injection. My son was asking, why do I give him injection? And I told him that look at the way it's looking like. The body is no longer shining, the hair is dropping. I said the hair is just scattered. And I said that's why I gave him. You can look at him, look at these other ones, see the way they are shining, see the way their hair is organized, see the way their hair is looking beautiful. But this particular one is looking like this. As funny as it is, he now identified another one and that has a rough hair too. And I said, okay, you go and catch him and bring him. Yeah, you seen it. So the people attending to the animals should know how to spot when something is getting wrong with the animal, so that we don't have to wait till when it gets to emergency before we start running up and down and say, hey, one goat has died, one goat is no longer walking. Are you seeing it? So work on how to increase the number of goats you are having, and instead of leaving money in the bank, put your money in goats. At any point in time, you can convert that money to cash, and I'm sure to tell you the cash will be very, very higher. When you're converting it, you convert to a more higher cash than when you bought the goat. And so some people have savings, and they call it a saving for the raining day. And saving for the raining day. And we're in dry season, rain will not fall. We're in dry season, rain will not fall. So use the savings to buy goats. Okay, have a care. Thank you very much. Yes, my lovely wife is giving me a camera stand. Thank you very much. So I'm not holding my camera now. I'm putting it on the stand. So instead of saving for the rainy day, buy goats for the rainy day. Or buy goats in the dry season. Yeah, when it begins to rain, you sell goats and use the money to pay school fees. You sell goats and use the money to buy rice. Rice is expensive in Nigeria now. One bag of rice now is 100,000. A minimum 100,000. You can sell goats and buy rice. You can sell goats and pay school fees. You can sell goats and do one or two things. You can even sell goats and buy car. Yes, you can sell goats and buy car. If you have close to 300 goats to sell, you can sell them and buy car. So you just convert it to money and then you have money. And you can sell your goats anyhow you can sell it. It's just that if you sell the goats, a breeding goat or a farm goat, to breeders, you're going to sell it for a more reasonable amount of money than when you sell your goats to someone who wants to slaughter it. And the person that want to slaughter it may not pay well for the goats because he want to slaughter it. He will be pricing like the market people. He will not know the value of a vaccinated farm animal and a Jebota goat. He will not know the value. He will be looking at the goats based on size, based on meat. And the breeding animals are not sorted based on size or based on the meat as at the point when you want to buy. They are sorted based on the health condition of the animal. The health condition of the animal. That is what you look at to buy. If you check the goat that it has a structure, that the structure is going to be big, you will see it. You will see it. Then you check the animal that it is okay, even though it's not big today. If you keep it in your farm and feed it for 3 months, it will become a big structured goat. You have flesh on that structure. Are you seeing it? So if you say you want to source goats like the people who want to slaughter it, they will look for the meat. This one get meat, this one get meat. If you want to put it in your farm, you buy goat that has meat. Sometimes 3 days after, because their health condition is not so okay, they begin to die. And when they begin to die, you're losing money. So you source goat based on the health condition, and if you want to sell it, you also sell it to somebody who knows the value. Permit me to tell you, a Hilux, a modern Hilux. There's this car called Hilux. A modern one is big, maybe 70 million Nigerian naira or 75 million Nigerian naira. It's very big. A Lamborghini is small. A Lamborghini is small, but it's not 70 million. If you know the value and the quality of a Lamborghini, someone looking for a big car will say, how can I buy this small motor? It's not even high. It's not even high. It's just flat on the ground. But those who know the value knows the value. They can pay millions of dollars for it. They know the value. Why the big motor you're looking at, the big car, is small money. The same philosophy goes into goat farming. It's not all about how big it is right now. It's about the health condition. And we are trying to get Nigeria to a place where you buy animal based on the record. Someone was telling us in our seminar that his own Kalahari, he saw the father and the grandfather of the Kalahari. I seen it before he buy the stored buck in his farm. He said he saw the grandfather. Are you seeing it? They have to show that the history of the animal. Are you seeing it? Because the animal is having a record. Nigerian farm animals, most times we keep record for medical attention. But we will get to a point where we will sell animals based on the records. We should check the records and say, okay, this animal we want to buy. And how is it? Where is the father? Where is the mother? Where is the grandfather? Where is the grandmother? And then we begin to check all those things, and then ask the vaccination dates, how they are vaccinated, and all those stuff. And then it's not only on paper. You can keep goat record. I'm just saying this for the future. And we know ourselves. People can write anything on paper which never happened to the animal. They can write things on paper which never happened to the animal. And so it will be good and more credible for both the seller and the buyer if we have a video record. The day you're going to vaccinate all your animals, put it on video. Let us see that you were really giving. You can save your video. You can store your video in the cloud. And after you make a video record, store it in the cloud. Afterwards, whatever vaccine you want to give the animal, show it on video, give the animal. The animal is there. You show the video of the particular animal, put it on record. By the time on video, and store it in the cloud. By the time we need to buy that animal, bring that video down and show us this particular animal, see the tag number, see it like this, see it like this. See what we are giving it right now as at today's date, and see what we are giving it. It will help. Because one of the major problems we are having in this our goat sector is credibility. And sections of times I have paid for vaccinated animals and I was giving non-vaccinated animals. As I see, be like say I know something rich for goat. I paid for vaccinated animals and I was giving non-vaccinated animals. Sometimes you say you want to buy 50 vaccinated animals. The person who want to sell has 35 or 36, and he knows that because of transportation you cannot pick that 36 from this location and then go and pick another 50 for another location. And he knows that if you go to another location and you see 100 pieces, you're going to pick your 50 from there and move. Are you seeing it? Sometimes the locations are very far. They can be 2 hours drive from location A to location B, or location even more than. Sometimes it can be another state, a neighboring state. You have to go and pick some from there. And by the time you get to that place and you find out that all the animals you need are there, and maybe from the north you are traveling to the south, you can just load everything there and move. Instead of loading 15 there, coming down 2 hours after to load another one, you can just load everything there and you move. Are you seeing it? And so because of that, sometimes when they have 35 in one particular place, they will tell you that they can give you the 50. Then they will quickly go and get animals from another place that is not secured and add to it and make it 50 and give you. And then you will go and begin to see wahala in the life of some of the animals. So that's why most times we advise that people should get video records. And don't just tell me with your mother, all my animals are vaccinated. All my animals are vaccinated. There are some persons you will call to supply your animals. When they know you are coming 2 or 3 days before you come, they will go bring animals into their farm and put it somewhere and tell you that that's the ones they want to sell. Meanwhile, the ones they have is not enough. Then they will mix the ones that doesn't have good conditions with the one that have good conditions, and because you cannot even know, they will show you paper record and say all our animals were vaccinated at so day. They will write the numbers out, and then you just like okay, and you will pay. Are you seeing it? At the end there will be wahala. So most times in the future, as we are growing up the system in our country, as we are moving up the stage, goat farming is a little bit better than the way it used to be in Nigeria. Many people are having their leg standing on the ground well. They are no longer shaking. Like this year now, because of the because we created the sensitization on vaccination, PPRO vaccination, pulse vaccination, and so many other kind of vaccination that is available in Nigeria. We created sensitization throughout the year. Since last year, this year, many people have vaccinated their animals, and then the mortality rate dropped in farms. We have a connection of over 500 goat farmers on the Animal Paradise platform, on the different platform. We are relating together, sharing what's going on. We have seen that the percentage of mortality has reduced this 2024. And then we also consciously tell people, when you want to buy animals, buy vaccinated animals. Some people say, where can we get vaccinated animals? I just said we have over 500, more than 500 farmers connected. You need goats, call Animal Paradise. Say, see the numbers that I have. I will ask those who have farm goats in their farms that they want to sell. Those days it wasn't possible. We didn't have people who would give us vaccinated animals. But now we have people who have sustained their farms for 3 years. they have vaccinated animals now. They can spare. They can spare. They can even share. They can share. They can sell. They can spare and they can share. Are you seeing it? So, just ask. We need goats. We need so number. Any number. We can find them out. Call the farmers. Ask them, who do you have? How many do you have? What's your location? Then we find other people who are around that location. Oyo State, Kwara State, Ondo State, down to Edo State, down to Lagos State. All those states, one vehicle can browse them, pick animals. The vehicle can pick 20 animals from Edo State. So they can browse through Edo State, Ondo State, Osun State, Kwara State, Oyo State, pick animals, deliver it in Lagos, deliver it in Ogun, or even pick from Ogun. There are a lot of farms in Ogun State now. There are 2 years, maybe this 2025, 26, they're going to be having animals to distribute also. Are you seeing it? So it can be given. Animals can be transported all those through that area and given. Are you seeing it? So don't waste your money buying animals that will make you know the names of all the drugs and then create a situation for you where you now begin to be angry with all the vet doctors. Are you seeing it? And so do you know that mortality rate in the exotic animals, all those Kalahari, boa, savannah that we are bringing from abroad into Nigeria, the mortality rate is very low. Very, very low compared to the mortality rate of the Sokoto red, the Sahelian, the Nigerian dwarf, which is very, very high, because the structure does not, a Nigerian structure, goat farming structure right now, it doesn't support a high level of goat vaccination. And it's only the farmers who are able to relate to privately we're able to relate to the farmers. In foreign countries, the government regulates the vaccination system. In fact, if you don't vaccinate those animals, you cannot transport them down. And there are vaccination certificates you must have before airports will allow you to take it through cargo and bring it down to another country. And those things are helping. But as shameful as it is, there are some people in Animal Paradise platform, all our WhatsApp group and so many other platforms, there are people there who have even subscribed to our YouTube channel and they are watching our videos, getting notification of our videos. They still have goats that have not been vaccinated. Upon the sensitization on vaccination, they still have goats. Government is not paying me to sensitize people to vaccinate their animals. They are not paying. But that's what government should have been doing to help to eradicate PPR from Nigeria. But that is not my calling. I'm not called to instruct the government of Nigeria or tell them how to do what to do. We are Nigerians. We can get our things done without the government, and we've been getting our things done without the government. Any Nigerian who is waiting for government is a dreamer. So instead of you to wait for one politician to want to campaign that he want to vaccinate your animal, he will now use it to campaign and vaccinate your animal. After he has win election and enter office, the next 8 years, you will not vaccinate your animal. You will not vaccinate them. So you have to be able to get find vaccine and vaccinate your animals by yourself. Private vaccination, not government vaccination. Some of the times the vaccine may be available in the Ministry of Agric, but the question is, who will be spending the money to put ice block in the vaccine? Who will be spending the money? Because these vaccines are not to be kept inside the fridge, because they are epileptic electricity supply. If you keep it inside the fridge and the fridge has a particular temperature, when they will take light for some days, who may attend to those vaccines? The same thing is when you keep it inside a freezer, which you are not supposed to keep it inside the freezer. Are you seeing it? So in those ministries, you see them miss a particular vaccine, they just keep it there. It's government work. And the vaccine is supposed to be in a temperature of 2 degrees to 8 degrees. It should not exceed 2 degrees. It should not be below 2 degrees. Freezer is 0 degree. Freezer is below 0 degree. So don't put it inside freezer. Maximum 8 degree. When you put the vaccine in the fridge and the fridge is working, you may be able to get that 8 degree, or get it between 2 degree and 8 degree. But when NEPA take light, what happens? The temperature of the fridge will increase. Are you seeing it? And so some of those agents that do distribute the vaccine, they have a big cooler, they have a freezer, Every day they carry ice block and put inside the cooler. So the ice block lasts for 24 hours. If they're able to make ice block, fine. They're not able to make ice block, they go get ice block. Those guys that are doing big ice block, they get it, just dump one inside the cooler and cover it up. The next day they get one, dump it inside the cooler. That cooler will maintain between 8 degree, between 2 degree and 6 degree and 8 degree. It will maintain it. So try to vaccinate your animals. Get vaccines from anywhere, vaccinate them. So in this 2024-25, increase the number of animals you're having in your farm. Goat farming is about numbers. It's a game of numbers. If you give 50 animals to your worker, you're paying them the same salary. When you make that animal 100, I'm so surprised to tell you, it's the same salary you'll still be paying them. So when you're paying salary and your animals are not many, you're more or less not making, you're losing. You're losing. So increase the number, and the more numbers you have, the more money you make. The more numbers you have, the more kids you're going to get. So it's not a child's play. Goat farming is not a child's play. It's one of the most lucrative livestock section in Nigeria. It's more lucrative than piggery. It's more lucrative than poultry. What? It's more lucrative than piggery. It's more lucrative than poultry. It's more lucrative than fish, catfish farming. But all these ones we've mentioned is just, there are short time harvest. Goat farming is a long time harvest. Are you seeing it? If you're able to get a minimum of 10 acres, and that 10 acres you plant different grasses on it, different things you want to use to feed your animals, you plant it on it, then you're able to edge it around in a way. Either you're able to fence the 10 acres or you're able to fence a small fraction for the animals to be grazing. Then your workers go into your land and cut whatsoever you want to use to feed the animals, cut it and give it to your animals. 2 acres of corn out of your 10 acres. 2 acres of corn. 2 acres of sorghum. 2 acres of soya beans. 2 acres of bracharia. Any of the bracharia you want to get, any of the bracharia you have. Then 1 acre of any other thing. Then they harvest all these things. You can use any method of preservation you want to use, either silage, either hay, or whatsoever you want to use. You can even be feeding them direct during the times if you're able to put irrigation in that field. Then after planting all these things, you're feeding your animals. They can be 300. If you have 100 animal in January, in December they can be 350. If you know what you're doing, they can be. All you need is have quality feed around. And permit me to say, like I've said before, in Nigeria we know what's called elephant grass. Elephant grass is not a good feed for your goats. Don't base your feeding of your elephant grass or your animals on elephant grass. Be feeding them and the numbers will increase. You may not be able to sell in 1 year, 2 years, but even though after 3 years what you want to sell, it's going to be in the realms of millions. And then you still be having the mothers giving birth again. So it's very lucrative. Increase the numbers. If you have not started, you want to start. Anytime you want to buy animals, buy vaccinated animals. There are vaccinated animals everywhere. Most farms have them now. Buy vaccinated animals. Manage them well. Give them good feed. I think someone in our seminar, one of the guest speakers in our seminar, Kato Plug, he said the first thing to buy is feed, not goats. Go and make many feed first. There's a farm they are planning to start up 20 acres of grass. They converted all of them to silage. The 20 acres of feed, they converted 20 acres of the feed to silage. They have not bought one animal in that farm. It's a new farm. They just want to keep feed down first. Are you seeing it? Increase the numbers. Buy more goats. Buy more vaccinated goats. And renew the vaccination of the ones you already had before. If you vaccinated them before, renew their vaccination. Some of those the renewal of the vaccination sometimes is 6 months. The book says 1 year, but through practice we have come to understand, if you vaccinate a goat in January of PPR, by August that goat will show symptoms of PPR, will have cough, catarrh or diarrhea by August. August, September, you have. So you don't have to allow them have the symptoms before you revaccinate them or renew the vaccination. That's why we practically vaccinate our goats every 6 months. We renew the vaccination every 6 months. The PPRO vaccination, we renew it every 6 months, because we've understood over the years that if you wait for 1 year, you will see some having symptoms. Some farmers will lose 1 or 2 before they will now quickly start buying antibiotics to flush to solve the symptoms and then renew the vaccination. Don't wait for 1 year, 6 months. Renew the vaccination. Renew the vaccination. And then work on feeding. Feed your animals well. Feed them with quality and quantity. Quality, good feed that are rich in protein. Feed them well with protein, and let it be many enough. The formula of feeding is, don't let the feeding trough be empty. Whatsoever you use to give them food, there must always be food there. They will eat and have leftovers. They will eat and have leftovers. You can use you can make hay for feeding. You can make hay in the rainy season when the grasses or the grasses are many. Cut them, make hay. Cut them, make silage. Sorry, you can use silage. In the dry season when there is sun, you can harvest your land in October and November. Harvest your land, turn it to hay, and keep it if you like. You can also use formulated feed. Formulated feed for goats is getting popular now. There are ingredients you can use. I'll mention some. We did that on the seminar. We're going to try to edit that seminar and post on the YouTube channel again for people to be watching over and over again. Brewery waste. Although a lot of people say that the nutrition have been mixed away, but it still contains protein. It does. Wheat offal contain protein too. You can use this to formulate feed. We have rice bran. Rice bran is in 2 parts: rice husks and rice bran. Anyone you're able to get some meal, used to mix the 2 together. One is protein, one is fiber. It can help. It can. We have corn. A bag of corn is about 70,000 naira now for 50 kg. It's expensive, but through research we've come to understand that a properly prepared cassava peels can subsidize for corn. They can give the same carbohydrate that the corn will give. I think we watched some videos on YouTube and discovered that. So you can get cassava peels, which is not so expensive, get it in high quantity, quality ones, not the ones that are rotting already, not the ones that are not properly dried, not the ones that are not fresh, they are rotting. No, get good fresh ones. Dry them. Find out whatsoever means you want to use to get rid of the cyanide in it. Get rid of the cyanide in it, and then convert it to feed. You can. So there are some people who slice the thing so tiny. You can dry them, grind them to powder. You can even get them fresh and use a machine to cut them, chop them to smaller particles, and ensile it fresh. Ensiling, I think that's what anybody who wants to improve on the feeding of animals or feeding of ruminants should learn the technique of ensiling. The brewery waste, you can actually exile it. Ensiling it means keeping it in a place where oxygen will not be reaching it. You can put it inside a big tank and cover it with nylon and seal the top. You can put it inside a drum. You can build a bunker on it, underground bunker. You put it there, cassava piece, you put it there, you cover it up. But you have to learn it. It's not just the way I'm saying it now. You have to learn it. There are so many things you add to it. You add so many things to it to create an anaerobic fermentation. It's a big topic on its own, but you learn it. You can ensile cassava peels, you can ensile brewery waste, because brewery waste, one of the disadvantages of brewery waste is that if you get it today, it's difficult to get. By the time you finally get it, it's also difficult to preserve. So ensiling it is one way, drying it is another way, but it doesn't dry on time. The top will dry, the under will not dry, except to make it so light on the ground, which is not going to be easy. Drying is not so easy. So you can get all these things and improve on your feeding. Even they are eating grasses, browse around, get feed ingredients, meat, that can be their breakfast.